In today's video, I'm gonna be back in Let's See car driving with the MaseratiGhibli, and we're gonna be testing the handling with drift tires versus race tires. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Now we currently have the drift tires equipped, so we're gonna be testing them out first. So let's launch this thing in 3, 2, 1, blast off. Can already hear a lot of tire spin. Okay, let's see how it does on the first turn. Oh, we got a lot of understeer there. I feel like this thing is very heavy. It's a very heavy car, to be honest. And it's not very easy to break traction. It can, but you gotta give it a lot of gas for it to break traction. But so far, it's handling, I would say, the best, but it's handling a bit tricky. Yeah, I feel like this thing is very heavy. Based on the way it's handling, I can definitely tell it's a very heavy car. But it's still pretty controllable. You just gotta give it a lot of gas for it to break traction, but you don't want to give it too much. You gotta try to find the sweet spot, which kind of is tricky on a keyboard, to be honest. Oh, it's getting crazy on me. But so far I haven't lost it yet. I'm gonna say yet just in case I do. Yeah, but this thing is definitely very heavy. Based on the way it's handling, it's a very heavy car. But it's handling okay. Despite the fact that it's kind of very hard to predict, it's not the worst car I've driven in the game, to be honest. And I haven't driven every car yet, so I kind of can't find out which car is the worst yet until I've like driven every car. It did exceptional there. It did a lot better than I thought it would. I also feel like this thing does not have that much counter steer angle or steering angle. So if you get too steep of an angle, that's it for us. There's no catching it back. Okay, not bad, not bad. So far it's doing okay. As I said, it's not the worst I've driven. But I want to see how this thing does on the track. There's a handbrake there. There's the handbrake use. Okay. This thing is very unpredictable, as I said, because you don't know when it's gonna break traction. I gotta give it a little more gas than you would have spent. Flying. Okay, so I slowing it down. I notice a bump here. Yep. We didn't slow her down in time, but at least we didn't crash. Oh, it's breaking traction when you'd least expect. Almost went straight into that building there. I didn't realize that we reached the building. But it did okay on the winery roads. The only thing is kind of tricky to tell when it's going to break traction, as I said before, but it's still controllable. Now I'm going to take it on the track and see how this thing handles. It's getting crazy on me already. Okay, slow her down, downshift. Keep her in second gear, swing it. Okay, we didn't have enough tire spin. I'm gonna keep it in third gear. I'm gonna switch midway into the power slide or drift. I think it's mostly power slide because I'm not really entering the turn sideways. It's after I enter the turn. Okay, that did not work. We didn't even get any oversteer there. Okay, the oversteer keeps on happening after the turn. think I'm gonna have to send it super hard into one of these turns and hope for the best. I mean, at least it made it around that turn there. Okay, it's not oversteering any at all. Okay, let's try this turn. Let's send it super hard. Here we go. We finally got a little oversteer there. Okay, so based on when I look at the tires, but based on the handling with the drifters, I'd say this thing is not the worst, but it's kind of tricky. It's still very grippy, I would say, because you don't know when it's gonna break traction. You have to give it a lot more gas than you'd expect. I don't know if it's because it's heavy or it's because I don't even sure, but it's not the best at drifting. But it can, but it's very tricky, as I said. It's like it still has a lot of grip because you don't know when it's gonna break traction. Like usually when I'm testing other cars, as soon as I hit the gas, like it automatically slips out. This thing you gotta give it a lot more than you expect, but it's not the worst. So now I'm gonna change it to the race tires and see how well it does. Okay, so now I got the race tires re-equipped. Hopefully this thing can redeem itself by handling super well, but we'll see. So let's launch this thing in 3, 2, 1, blast off. Hopefully the weight can actually help it turn a bit. It was a nice turn there. So far I like what I'm seeing. On the first turn that was very good. Don't understeer, thank you. Second turn was nice as well, even though I did hear some tires screeching. Hopefully he can do well on the third turn as well. That was nice as well. So far I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. It's handling super well. It's taking the turns very well. As you can see, we don't have any oversteer. Kind of got a little understeer there. You could hear the tire screeching as well, but it's still doing pretty well. As I said, this thing seems like it's very grippy more than slidey, even with the drift tires. I feel like this thing is more of a grip car. Because it's doing very well on the turns. Even though we didn't really stay in our lane there, it still made it around the turn without crashing into anything, so that's good. And that turn is very steep, as you can see, or very wide. I feel like we gave it a bit too much gas there, but it still made it around the turn. As I said, this thing is handling very nice. Don't mind that maneuver there. Should have slowed down way more. But so far this thing is handling like a grip car. I don't even know what you'd call a grip car, but a car that has great grip. I would say this, based on what I'm seeing so far, this thing is better with grip tires than drift tires. I wouldn't classify this as a drift car any at all. Now I'm kind of curious how this thing would handle on the Green Hill track, bigger track. I feel like it should do okay based on what I'm seeing so far, but though some of the turns on that track are brutal. But now let's see how this thing handles on the track. I think it should do well because it did well on the windy road, so it should take the turns pretty well, because these are a lot wider, so you can kind of go in a little faster and start turning in early. Not bad, not the best, but not bad. Handling the turns nice. I like what I'm seeing. Slow her down. Hug the apex. Not bad, not bad. It's doing okay. I like it a lot. Oh, oh, little understeer there. Hug the apex. There we go. Yeah, this thing is handling super well. Oh, oh, too fast. Understeer straight into the. I forget if that's sand, gravel, or what. I don't remember what it is. That's the first understeer I've seen, or major understeer there. Big turn coming up, slow her down. Hug the apex there, that was nice. Nice downshift there. Yeah, this thing is definitely more of a grip car. I would say it's definitely better with the race tires. The drift tires, it can slide, but I would recommend it. But the grip tires, this thing takes a turn like a beast. I love it, love it. So I definitely say if you have this car, it's better to get it with the race tires. I mean, if you want to try and drift it, I mean, I can't really stop you, but I'm just saying I recommend the race tires, because the way how that thing took most of the turns, it was perfect. It hugged the apex really well and stuff like that. I think I only had one major understeer, but that was because I was going very fast into that turn, which I kind of shouldn't have been doing that. But definitely get this thing with the race tires if you have it. I think this thing is not crazy expensive, but I hope they do remodel it, because like the interior, I feel like this thing was in the game for a long while. I hope they do have some little remodel on some of the cars. I hope they do remodel this one soon, hopefully. I'm not sure, but hopefully they do. But I do like the way how this thing handles.